Oh man, it's way too early in the morning. Oh. But it's time. Time to learn how to play this video game. All right, I think we're ready. Uh-oh.
Yo, what's up, man? How are you?
Loco. I'm well, how are you?
I'm doing very well, man. I heard you had to get up early today, like 9:30.
Dude, I know, this is rough. Like, what kind of world is this?
I know.
I should be able to sleep in till at least, 10:30, 11. But this is worth it. I'm excited. I'm stoked.
Good, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Have you done any coaching ever before in SC2?
No, not really. I mean, I think maybe once I had one just loose, on a Zerg channel session, and it didn't go so well. But
all right.
it's more whatever. Like what it comes down to is I just need to play this game more, I think. And but I get a little frustrated kind of easily when stuff just goes south, But
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Exactly.
I don't know if you watch the stream regularly, but recently, especially, like I've been having some problems in ZVP.
Yeah.
It's been a tricky matchup. But
yeah, exactly. That's me too. All right. So how do you want to do this?
Cool. Yeah. So generally speaking, one of the easiest ways I've found, or one of the easiest ways I've found, is to first off go over a couple of your replays, and then if need be, we can also play some games afterwards, or I can go over a strategy that I recommend. But generally speaking, it's helpful to go over a couple of replays first, especially since, if I recall correctly, you mentioned you're in Diamond League right now, right?
No, I'm on the cusp, right? Like I've been sitting at 31, but I haven't actually been promoted into it. And after playing like 40 games or so over the last 2 days, I think I actually lost about 100.
Okay.
MMR, so I'm
grinding them out?
Yeah, something like I've been trying, dude. I apologize in advance. I was trying to get a couple of less than 16-minute games or whatever the range was. One of the games is a little bit longer, but I feel like the majority of the games I play, dude, go quite a bit longer than that apparently. So it took a long time. So I apologize if we gotta blast through.
Just to have a general guideline.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, dude, I just went on the NA server. I'm in general chat. First thing I see.
Dude, it's so bad.
Joe Biden,
it is. So, oh my god. If anybody judges America based on general chat in StarCraft, we're doomed. It's just, it's bad.
Wait, I wrote down November. No. I meant September. Sorry. Yeah, so what I'll be doing as well, is I'm keeping a bunch of notes. So obviously you can make your own notes and stuff if you want to. But I'll be writing you an essay throughout all of this.
Oh man, that's amazing. All right, beautiful.
Could you join Group Loco TV if you're not already in that one?
Oh, do I have to do that inside of?
Yeah, basically what you do is in the in-game chat, you type /join and then Loco TV. And that shoot.
Boom.
There you go. MALLEN. In all uppercase.
That's me.
I'm going to update my little document here too, man.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yelling at everyone. All uppercase.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see you grinded some before going to sleep as well.
Oh, dude, yeah. Got a couple hours of sleep. We're all right.
Cool. So how long have you been playing for?
Oh, my God. I didn't play Brood War much. I was more in the... whatever. I was into other games. I played Warcraft 2 a little bit, but I've played since day one. I think that this thing dropped. I've taken a couple of breaks in between, but I think this is my alt account. I have 9,000 games or so on my other one, but yeah.
All right, cool, nice. So let's look. Yeah, I was just wondering because I looked at the career summary and stuff, and then
sorry, dude.
I didn't too much on this one, but that's totally fine. So cool. You made a new account just to do some more laddering.
Yeah, keep it a little cleaner. The majority of the time that I play this game, I usually play 2s, right, or 3s, just drinking with buddies and stuff. And I was curious how far I could go if I roll solo.
Yeah. Dude,
and I think it's about 3,100, dude.
Wait, sorry, what?
I said, and I think how far I can go is only about 3,100, but let's see.
I don't know what the promotion is right now for Diamond. I see like you're
Yeah, I
at
don't know
Platinum
what it
Tier
is
1,
either.
but you have gone down a little bit of MMR since.
Yeah.
Cool though. Alrighty, so ZVP is 57%, ZVT is 55, and ZVZ is 37, at least current season. So that's
Interesting.
pretty even. Pretty even. Any maps? Ooh. It's not too big of a sample size right now, but sometimes there's like one map where someone really struggles. You've got 83% win rate on Death Aura. That's pretty cool.
There's a map that has like the barrier, gold barrier, or whatever that one is called.
Golden Wall.
Golden Wall. I'm not a fan of that map. I don't veto any maps. I should, but
Okay.
yeah, that one I
You
feel
don't
like.
really have to. Like if you don't like a map, you can obviously veto it. But
Yeah, no, it's more. I just need to take time to actually learn the map. So I'm not.
that
I'm
one's
not
been around for a while though, so I think it's probably gonna go pretty soon.
Good, thank God.
Anyhow, if you have a game you wanted to have a look at, I will promote you to party leader. And basically what you can do is you can go to replays and then select the replay you wanted to watch, and then you click like the watch with others button at the bottom.
Yep. So I've got one of each, like you suggested. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll go. How about Terran Zerg toss?
Sure.
And I think.
Sure.
Oh, this one's no Vipers.
Could you toss me the party host, or sorry, like the lobby host? Then I
Yeah.
can like control the replay. Otherwise it gets a little funny. Loco only plebs veto maps. I veto maps, dude. I veto Golden Wall actually. I don't like Golden Wall because like you have to play like a very specific approach on that map. It feels like you kind of have to go Overlord speed. I think pretty much everyone vetoes maps, to be honest.
Called out as the plebs. That's rough.
Yeah,
No
I can
love.
pull that as a pleb right now. And one of my moderators as well, long-time moderator. I can't believe it.
Okay, this. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what game this is or which match this was. So I don't know where I was struggling. I'm sure this is. Oh, this one's the. I thought he was a diamond opponent. I don't know which one this is. This should be interesting.
Cool. Any particular approach you have in these matchups, by the way? Oh, sorry. Can we rehost it real quick so I can change my UI or my interface?
Yes, sir.
Um,
My approach.
any, like,
Yeah, sorry. I've been trying to start just at the ground up, and sorry, I want to actually find the right one that I wanted to watch with you.
I was on the wrong interface, so I couldn't see. Like,
Yeah, my bad. And host, promote to leader.
Oh no, it's the, it's not the party lead. It's the lobby host. Very confusing.
Oh, my bad.
It
My
makes
bad.
No sense.
Yep.
That's no worries. There's a different CVT too. So it's fine.
Yeah. So my approach is usually like I try to go. Did I screw up again?
Oh yeah, sorry. Like you gotta promote me to like the lobby host. So the party lead and lobby host are two separate things, just to make
Man, this game is
more
hard.
confusing in
See, this
StarCraft
is
2. I know.
why I can't.
know, dude.
I can't get anywhere.
It's a
Okay.
small indie company. Like we can't
Yeah.
expect these things to like smoothly.
Exactly. All right. Promote the lobby host. Boom.
There it is.
Sorry.
We did it.
So
Cool, all right.
yeah, sorry. General approach is I usually try. I have a back pocket build. I try not to focus on builds up front, just so I can kind of elevate the rest of the game. And I feel like I'm getting to the point now where my composition might be problematic, and how I take battles is awful. Like I do not trade
Okay.
well at all, and I'm already kind of. I mean, I feel like Zerg's already kind of at a disadvantage. But I have a back pocket build that is kind of a 2-base Roach Ravager timing push, right, with speed and +1. And that's, I forget when that hits. I feel like it's around, I push out around 6 or so. But the other than that, I typically against Terran, I feel like lately it's been Slingbane, Hydra, and if I get Vipers in, awesome. I struggle early on with early pushes. I was actually watching some Cyril stuff and feel like he just has a lot more queens and stuff than I do. Yeah, right, exactly. It's comical just but to get an outline for a build, not to actually compare how he survives stuff. But so yeah, like against Terran, it's usually Slingbane, Hydra, and then Vipers if it's bio, tank if it's mech. I usually just lose. And if
Fair.
if it's Protoss,
I like how you casually throw that in. If it's mech, I usually lose.
Yeah, no, it's the
like
truth,
30% of the games.
Yeah, exactly. Although like this game, I haven't played mech. I don't think I played a mech like just straight up mech yesterday. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Roach Ravager late is brutal. Swarms are brutal. Like the Broodlords, if I can get there, awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that matchup's rough for me. Same with Archon Immortal, dude. It's just like, I don't know.
All right.
But yeah, I do try to mix it up a little bit. I'll throw Roach Ravager against Protoss. If it is mech, I'll also kind of go Roach Ravager into the mix. But usually I'm been trying to do Lingbane Hydra, and for 8 out of 10 years I've played Terran, and so I'm used to I'm used to doing the God push. And the other thing that I need to do is embrace control groups and multi-attack stuff, and I haven't probably been doing that very well. So anyway, I'm looking for a thing to focus on if there's like a main theme of what I'm lacking. I've spent some time doing the golden macro cycle, loco style, and doing some other things just to try to focus on stuff but yeah, I don't know. Whatever tips you got, man. I'm looking for a good no holds bar analysis.
I'm sure.
Love it.
People in the chat are liking your voice, man. I just wanted to point it out. Apparently, people are complimenting your voice. So there you go.
I appreciate that.
All right, let's have a look. So ZVT, it is definitely a little tricky. So you're not seeing too much mech right now?
Over the past couple days, so I took this week off, been playing a lot of games. Yesterday and the day before, I feel like it didn't see a lot. Before that, dude, I was getting all the garbage. I felt like every Terran game I played mech, or they played mech. Every Protoss, I was getting some crazy, cannons followed by voids, and I usually am able to hold off that kind of stuff. What's the other one? Zerg, dude. I've been getting like this crazy just build order losses where they'll 12 pool and pull a ton of drones and just drop spines and stuff. And I need to find somebody to just practice that with. I don't know how to deal with that effectively because
I think that's the closest to like a build order loss you can get in like Zerg versus Zerg. Like it's very easy to accidentally lose in those circumstances.
Yeah, a little frustrating, but anyhow.
All right.
And I also want to apologize up front, dude. This is going to be really painful for me to watch because I can usually watch my own games and find things, but I don't know. I'm too ADD or something to pay attention to my own criticism, so I need somebody else to sit me down. So school is in session. Let's do it, Professor Loco.
In session, yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah. So we'll just kind of go through it at I guess ×2 speed for now. I was by the way wondering what hotkey setup do you use right now? Do you have like a?
Yep. So 1's usually my main, 2 is kind of auxiliary. I tried to start with 3 as kind of my base, but usually it's 2 spellcasters, 3's my army that's elsewhere. 5's are my queens, 4's my hatch. And if it goes beyond that, it's upgrades and Nidus and things like that.
Cool. Yeah. So that's the pretty standard one. Do you play standard hotkeys or grid or?
I don't play grid. I need to because I switched to Zerg. I've actually done bad things, and there's some upgrades that I don't know the hotkeys like P or V or not V, but yeah, it's like what the keyboard.
Yeah. No, I don't think you want to switch hotkeys though. Like most of the pro gamers play standard.
Really?
So it's yeah. Most of them just installed the game at some point, and probably much like you, just kind of played, and that's the hotkey setup that they had. So I mean, switching hotkeys is super painful. It takes like a month before you finally get used to it. It sucks. So.
Yeah, no, but at the same time, I find myself mouse clicking some of the upgrades, and every time I do, it's just
you can set up if you go into the options. Actually, I was wondering about that as well. Do you, I don't know if you happen to have the stream open by any chance.
Let me do it right now. Stand by.
Uh-oh. You can...
I hit something and it bounced me out. I apologize.
Oh, okay. We'll reload it then.
And I will...
Now, I was just pointing out, like, there's a thing called a simple command card, which makes it difficult to see what hotkeys you're supposed to be using in game.
Oh yeah. No, I've got the command card up.
You do have that up, yeah. So you should be able to see the hotkeys in the bottom right?
Yeah.
Okay. You just have been clicking them as a force of habit. Okay.
Yeah, totally. I'm sorry, dude. This has been a mess.
No worries. All right. Yeah, so the first thing I noticed there in the game is, like you pointed out already, there's not really a focus on a build.
Yeah.
You can kind of like freestyle it in a lot of ways, but it is inefficient, you know? So it's one of the, like, there's like, it feels like to me there's two types of players. There's players like, you know, that play extremely mechanically, that like the spreadsheets and that, you know, try and min-max everything. And then there's a lot of players out there that kind of just do whatever feels right? And it feels like you're probably in camp 2, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Like I try to have kind of something close to the standard, the quote unquote standard opener, but I don't know. We'll see where I go with this, because I have not sat down. I used to spend a lot of time with builds with Terran. I've not done that with Zerg, so you might be right. That might be the key thing that I'm lacking.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a small thing, but especially if you want to push into diamond, you know, like things like making a hatchery at 350 minerals. I mean, I'm gonna probably be nitpicking a lot of those small things, but that's kind of what happens as we climb the ladder.
Yep.
This is like, you know, it's already a little bit behind, and then we follow it up as well with like a 19 gas and I believe a spawning pool after that. With like a late hatch and then a 19 gas and an 18 pool, you just die to any kind of cheesy barracks opener. So I don't know if you see any proxy barracks or anything along those lines, but yeah, all these things, like they add up very easily if the opponent is playing a crisp build, if that makes sense, you know, like if they're playing a really tight build and they have like, say, like 3 barracks right over there, they would just rally in Marines and just, you know, you just straight up lose. So that's like a small thing
for sure.
Maybe it's just this game, and maybe it's you know,
nope, it's not. Because the thing that I have been struggling with is also I'll find myself sitting on a lot of min. at around, you know, like I'm not maxed out by, you know, 9 minutes, and I've got 1,000 in the bank or something like that, and it's just like, oh, what am I doing? I'm not spending efficiently. So that's probably my other biggest self critique right now, is just how I'm spending larva. I think is not the best.
All right. Well, we'll find out. So I like the quick third hatch opener. Overlord positioning over there looks good as well. I like the second OV. Good scouting in general. I like the drone scout as well, actually. You don't see a lot of drone scouting right now at the pro level. Is there like any particular reason why you go for the drone scout here? Or
it's mostly just because I'm not really good with my lings. Once I have them on the board, you'll probably see them sit here for a little bit. And so, yeah, to find the if there's any kind of funny stuff outside of their base, I usually want to make sure that I get into his main before that wall goes up, just so I can kind of get a peek if he's getting early gas, and if he's got anything there, or if he's walled off with barracks or something, or not bunker, the Splite Eagles.
It's like you played a lot of Terran, right? So you probably
exactly
figure that kind of thing out. Yeah,
exactly.
Makes sense. Okay, so I like the additional queens here as well. So how many queens do you tend to go up to in this matchup?
So I've been trying to get 4 just on the board, and then 1 at each, so that'd be 7 total, I think is the goal. I'm still not that great about constantly kind of producing queens until I get up to that point. I probably should add on more. I've been failing with that many, with even kind of just 1 or 2 battle cruisers, just because I'm not good about throwing spires and stuff down too. But try to target 7 total, 4 just in the mix in my hotkey or hot group.
Yeah. No, I think 7 is a good number. Like you brought up earlier that you don't have that many queens if you compare it to, like, for example, Serral. So maybe I was thinking maybe you're playing like, you know, 2 queens or something along those lines.
Yeah, and I don't really remember this game. I have a short memory, which is probably the other problem of why I don't learn lessons and things.
Yeah, so really good scouting though. Like actually most of the people, especially that are trying to push into like Diamond and Masters, they really don't do any scouting or very, very little. So that's really good actually. Like the fact that you're trying to figure out here what this Terran is going for, and the fact you have a good understanding of roughly what they're, you know, up to in their base is super important. So I like that a lot.
Sweet.
Bailing nest timing. Do you time those at like a specific moment, or is it mostly just like, okay, this seems like a good moment to get a bailing nest? Like that's totally fine. I'm just
So what's going through my head? This one was probably. I didn't take my guesses. So I usually tend to again my back pocket build is the Roach Ravager. So I'll take, and usually I go that off 2 base. So I have this I have the mental sort of process of, after I'm saturated on my 2 bases, I'll throw down, 3 additional gas, the Evo chamber and the Roach Warren. So I'm probably doing the same things where I'm taking the multiple gas and then throwing down the Baneling Nest because I'm not wanting to go roaches here. So there's no reason for this timing other than the fact that it's fitting a slot and it's a deviation as opposed to just sticking to kind of that normal back pocket build.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a very good point. So, generally speaking, this would be a little bit of an early Baneling Nest. So usually we see it a little bit later. If you want to like defend, say for example, a Hellbat push, and you're playing Ling Bane, you really need to have the Baneling Nest up at a certain moment. Okay. Usually we see it like 4 minutes, maybe 4:10, maybe 4:20 or whatever. Gotcha. So yours went up at like 3:50, but it's not like it's way out of line or whatever. Yeah. Like it's totally fine. Like I like the reasoning, and the fact you're focusing on drones first and then getting the gases is also super important. Do you have like a specific moment here for the static defense, or is that also like something you just have as like a I'm full saturation, so I throw them up?
So I've actually been getting DT rushed and I feel like there's a lot of timings around between the 5 and 6 minute mark. So whether that's liberators or drops or whatever. So I've been doing some blind spires in all of my matchups, or sorry, blind spores in all of my matchups. And for Protoss, it needs to be a little bit earlier, of course, for the Oracle if I want to catch that. So I try to scout that out. But otherwise, yeah, at this point,
No, you're spot on there. So that's a very good observation as well. Like, so for ZVT, to give you a bit of a better number, you want to start up the spores at about 4:30. And for ZVP, like I'm writing this down as well, right? So
please.
For ZVP, it's 4:30, and the reasoning for that is that the Liberator usually tends to arrive at about 5 minutes, or the Banshee. So they will usually come out, like this guy is a little bit late on it, but imagine if you would be going with a tech lab right now on his startboard, on his side of the map. He could be on your side at about the 5 minute mark if he executes as well. So usually 4:30 Spore Crawler in ZVT, and then against Protoss usually about 3:30 Spore Crawlers because the Oracle arrives at about 4 minutes, and so do the Spores, or sorry, like the DTs if they rush them. So
gotcha.
I mean, even though like you're not completely aware of those timings, like you're still getting them at a very close to optimal time, which is it's a good sign.
Still room for improvement. Seconds matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Seconds matter, loco.
That's good. That's good.
Game of inches.
All right. So 5 minutes. 5 minute lair actually is not bad either. I like the evos.
Oh man.
Yeah. So like overall, like this is looking like a standard game with some room for improvement, especially as far as like I would say the build order and just like execution goes. Because this is like I think the 3rd supply block. Which really, like, that kind of stuff hurts a lot.
Yeah, I've been doing that lately. So, when you play, how many times do you find yourself just Ving? or I'm sorry, whatever your build overlord, like just holding it down. Yeah, and just like queuing 5 of those bad boys up.
I try and not do that, but it is better like to be oversupplied and undersupplied.
Yeah. So I think I just need to embrace it because so that's the one thing that I would really learn from build orders that I'm missing out on are the overlord timings because I feel like they're very set before probably 140s and above, and I am all over the place. We'll probably watch another one where I'm not as bad as I am in this game, but that definitely contributes to the fact that I'm not maxed out by the 9 minute mark, which has kind of tried to bend my focus lately, and I've been failing that.
Yeah, fair enough. So whenever like you find yourself supply blocked, especially in ZVT, and you're like, okay, fuck,
macro hatches.
Just either a macro hatch or a quicker 4th base or extra queens. Like you can just like, if you add on, you can easily go up to 12 queens and be totally fine. That's super good. I make tons of queens. Like whenever I hit a supply block and I'm up to like 300 minerals, I'll queue up 2 more queens if I can't spend my larva.
Yeah, are they Roman or do you just double up on bases? What do you do with 12 queens?
Oh no, I just use them for base defense. And usually, eventually, if you go like Ling Bane, oftentimes you will see Zerk going into ultras as well in the late game. So the queens are kind of a little bit awkward in the mid game, but then in the late game they can just transfuse the ultras back up. if
Yeah.
you know, have them sitting around still. But they're really good at like cleaning up drops and all that kind of stuff.
Dude,
Like they're good for.
They're like they're Zerg's best unit, dude. I need more of them on my team.
Yeah. Yeah. So general approach here looks good. Macro is you know, it's like slipping here a little bit, right?
Yeah,
so we're
yeah.
running
This
out
is
of,
I was at 2,000 minerals a little bit ago. That was bad.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely help out as far as like a standard build goes, though. Like that's totally fine. But the general, like the broad lines here are totally strong. Okay.
Good to hear.
Yeah, I like the way you're playing this though. Like it's macro-wise, it's a little bit sloppy, I guess. Like there's a lot of resources and stuff, but
Yeah.
the strategy, it makes sense, and the way you're playing this also, yeah, looks pretty good. Generally speaking, by the way, if you are playing Lingbane Hydra, you do want to go melee upgrades all the time. So in this case, I see you going +1 melee and then +1 missile.
Yeah.
With Lingbane stuff, it's always like, since Zerglings obviously benefit from melee upgrades, but Banelings do too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, melee upgrades always are.
Gotcha. Okay. Good to know.
Okay. So do you have like a certain timing here in mind? Because I think this is fine in Zerg versus Terran. In Zerg versus Protoss, you have to like have something on your mind in most of these games, because otherwise you just get overwhelmed. But
Yeah.
do you have like something like? Is there like a moment where you're like, okay, this is gonna be when I'm moving across?
So lately, again, I for me, because I think this is the Terran speaking in the past, like my goal is to max out and then do kind of a multi-prong attack. But I usually never get there, right? I'm always getting hit up by them trying to harass me and stuff. So we might not see a game where that actually happens. So right now, it's basically just if he attacks me. If he's attacking me a lot, I might try to set up something to where I move in when he moves out, sort of thing, just to give him something to think about. But other than that, this is probably me just playing defense the entire rest of the game. So there's no...
Okay.
I
No,
don't...
I think that's fine for Zerg versus Terran. Like you can do some Lingbane run-bys and stuff.
Yeah.
If you do the same thing in ZVP as well, it becomes a little bit more. Well, we'll see in a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Like,
I'm excited. I'm excited for the ZVP game because it's a good game. It's a little bit longer, but it illustrates my problem that I think I have, which is how I take fights. Like I make terrible decisions the way that I'm splitting. I think my splits and where I choose to fight is really poor, given the Zerg units. I'm not super used to them yet. After the couple months that I've been playing it, but
okay. Wait, so you've only been playing Zerg right now for a couple months then?
Yeah, actual game time, yeah, probably a couple months.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cool. All right.
Over the past year or so, there's probably heads down, a couple months of playing.
Cool. Yeah, so I think the main thing that you're lacking in this game here is having some sort of plan and like with that like a build order and
100%.
That's lacking.
Yep, I think you nailed it.
Because it's not like there's one really obvious glaring problem here that you're running into. It's just mostly it's a little aimless, like the creep runs looking good, scouting is looking real good as well. But there's no goal here in mind. Like,
for sure.
We're just doing our thing, but this is real good. I like this. Okay, now one really big improvement though, so this is very significant one, is the hive timing. Do you have so we'll go over like I can give you like a normal build order obviously here in a little bit.
Yeah, you want to hear my dumb reasoning for the hive timing?
Yes.
when my main gets saturated and I start having workers that are doubling up, rather than peeling them off, I drop the infestation pit and then go for
So right now you're like 11 out of 8 to this.
It's
it's
like the first drone that wants to take a lunch break. I'm like, no, you're hanging out here. You're taking the infestation and so it's probably super late. But do you mind following up with kind of the reasoning behind that? I don't understand is it just to get the Vipers and stuff out earlier?
Yeah, so the main thing to go hive is usually adrenal glands. Like when you're playing Lingbane, right? So we're making
the crack boys.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know exactly what the number is, but it's close to 40% attack speed, which is just it's an insane upgrade. Okay. Yeah, it's really really good. And then with that, the +3 upgrades as well.
Yeah. You've shown me the light. I think, yeah, that's. I rarely,
Already?
I rarely actually get that, even in late games, because
Okay.
my Ling Bang game is off. I've just now kind of started forcing myself to pump out lings just to catch, or just to max out by the 9-minute mark, essentially, because I got to spend all that extra minerals, or all those extra minerals. And yeah, so that's definitely a big part of it. I think you're right. You nailed that.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, if that's like something you struggle with, especially in longer games, like if you're saying you play a lot of long games, but you don't know when to go hive, like that would be certainly very helpful. So, generally speaking, the timing of the infestation pit is when you start up +2/+2 upgrades. So,
Okay.
in this case, like you're going missile upgrade, but like we said earlier, like I think you want to go melee here because it's just way better.
Yep.
So basically, this would be right here because you're on point. Like as soon as these 1/1 upgrades finish, there's not even a second of downtime. Like right now, 1/1 finishes, bam, 2/2. Like that's could have been 2/2. What could have been 2/2? But it's +1/+2. But you know, like this is on point. So this would be the moment where you throw up the infestation pit. So if you go infestation pit right now and then straight into hive, by the time that 2/2 finishes, your hive is done as well, and you can go straight into 3/3.
You're making good points.
So that's like a big thing. Yeah, that's
Making
actually like a
good
really
points.
big point.
All right, I love it.
wow.
I love it.
So when you start up +2/+2, also start an infestation pit. That's not how you write infestation pit. Whatever.
We're ifing that station pit.
if in the station pit. There you go. Station pit, and then straight to hive, and then straight to 3/3 with adrenal glands. Plus, if you have the money for it, like you can go straight into ultras as well. Like if you're not messed with and you're feeling comfortable, ultra.
I definitely I throw the biggins into the mix every once in a while. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so since they benefit from like the same upgrades as the link,
it's like why not? Why not?
Yeah.
That and
So
dude, Archon
the
Immortal.
Hydras are like, what's sorry?
Sorry. Oh, we'll get to Protoss. I was saying Archon Immortal. Like I don't know. I've been messing around with. I've been messing around with Ultras and Vipers lately.
No.
I don't know what to do with
Protoss are a big no, dude.
Yeah, I know. But
and literally like
the unit tester.
Protoss units kill him.
The unit tester, like they kill everything. Like I mean, unless they can't shoot up.
Ultras, man.
This is true.
You know the time where you actually see ultras right now in ZVP? It's when Protoss is maxed out on carriers, and since ultras can take like so many beatings, like they have so much armor, they're actually good against carriers.
Oh, I love it.
The interceptors can
it's
for
so
like
good.
30 seconds. It's
It's
crazy.
like the troll victory. That's beautiful.
They counter sentries. Yeah. Ultras counter sentries. That's a good point. Nah, but don't make ultras against Protoss. But they're good against Terran though. Like they're definitely good against Terran.
All right, good to know.
Okay. So another question, like if you like playing these macro games, what's usually your thought process on the hive? Or sorry, not the hive, like the fifth. Do you have like a certain moment where you're okay? Fuck, now I need to get a fifth base up.
So my fourth, I'm usually trying to reach kind of top tier tech. Or I'm sorry. I want to max out, and then as I'm getting my upgrades, when I'm pushing out, I'll usually take my fifth, is the normal sort of thing, if I haven't already, because I feel like maxed arm, I've actually been trying to force myself to max out earlier, so I've been forcing myself on 3 bases to do that, so I don't know if I did that in this game or not, but all this is to say that I don't. It's basically, if I have extra minerals and I'm not spending Larva Well or whatever, I will throw in my fifth kind of willy-nilly, so I don't have a plan, as you stated before, so astutely. And that is probably my problem.
Apparently, Dutch people are very direct, so I...
No, dude, this is beautiful. That's not direct. You're just you're on point. There's a difference.
Okay, so I like your fourth base timing a lot. Fourth base timing is on point. Generally, you want to grab it when your 3 bases are saturated, and you're essentially getting to that point right now. I mean, your main is fully saturated. Natural is, well, as good as almost saturated, and third base is just about to be saturated. Yep. So usually that's a good moment to go for a fourth base plus a macro hedge.
Okay.
So the macro hedge, once again, is specifically for Zerg versus Terran.
Interesting.
So I will go ahead and write this down as well. So 66 drones, so 3 base saturation. You want to go into a fourth base. So fourth base. plus 5th at the same time. So you can either decide to put the 5th hatchery in an alternative 4th base location. So say like you like having your 4th base over here, you know, like the one that you're just about to take. You could also go ahead and grab the base in the top left and treat that one like a macro hatch. That's really popular right now. So rather than making a macro hatch in your main base, you just sort of, you just sort of have it out there. In case they end up killing the base on the right, you can always move it, the drones over there to the left, and then that kind of helps out. That helps a lot with the larva production a little bit later on into the game, because a couple minutes from now, you're starting to flood a lot of resources, and that's to do with obviously hive timing, but also then just not having enough larvae on the amount of bases you have. So whenever you play Ling Bane, on 4 bases, you need 5 hatcheries.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like
it does. And then can you walk me through, like, what are you drawn up to after taking your 4th in this matchup with a macro hatch too? And by macro hatch, so I'm assuming you're saying don't take even the gas in a macro hatch immediately.
Yeah. So in this case, like I would recommend taking the 2 bases that I pinged. And just not taking the gases until you're actually, having drones mining at the 5th base. You don't really like take the gases until quite a bit later. Okay. But as far as like army timing goes, so that's a really good question. Usually you go 66 drones, right, and then double expand. With one of them being a macro hatch, but we just call it a double expand. And then you make non-stop units. How do you write that? Non-stop units. Until the 4th base is done, and then you go up to about 85 or so.
Gotcha.
So you make non-stop units while waiting for the 4th, and then you go up to, I don't know, like 80 to 90 drones is pretty common. Like we see players going all the way up to 100 right now, which is a little crazy, but that's like a good number. Yeah,
I need all my army units that I can get, man. The struggle's real.
Like the late game is not the strongest right now, so you just need to like make way more shit than they can.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, so timings here in the early game don't look like, bad or whatever, though. Like it's like you're dealing with the harassment just fine. I mean, we lose a bunch of drones, so I would like to see those replaced a little bit quicker. Now we hit a supply block again. Yeah, so I think actually these 32 Zerglings over here, they are like not really necessary. Having like a couple here is helpful to more Banes if you absolutely need to, but I like the fact, by the way, you're not using the all army hotkey.
Yeah.
That's not a big thing.
I unbound
people in Platinum League that I've run into at coaching. Like, there's a lot of people just running all army hotkey as the main thing.
Every once in a while, I'll still... I thought I did unbind it, but I think I still click it on the screen. Or every once in a while, I'll panic and grab it, but I definitely force myself to not do that.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Okay. Yeah, so you like basically right now we're a little bit late on the hive and we're a little bit late on the drones here. But all things considered, like this is pretty good. Okay. So I like this engagement too. Like you pointed out earlier that you struggle fighting these kind of armies at some point. So I was a little worried you were gonna jump the gun and fight off creep or whatever. But this is, I mean, you're playing this, pretty patiently here. Yeah, we just hit us a lot of supply blocks. Like this
Dude,
game This is the last game of the day, wasn't it? Like
I don't even
game. We're 7 beers in.
No, dude. That's called the Balmer Peak, my man. That's when I'm playing my best.
It's like darts.
Got to get that elite blood alcohol content.
Yeah, so you can see like right now we're sitting at 63 workers, but we have 8 gas. 8 gas totally fine if you have 80 workers. But right here, like you run out of mineral.
For sure.
All right, now usually like the later the game goes, the less relevant these kind of like
it just deteriorates.
Yeah, it's just gonna be the same thing, or it's gonna be a different game every time, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, the general guy,
I do. Yeah. So I try to build off of general guidelines just because, the first plan always goes out the window sort of philosophy. So I do like the timing associations that you're talking about, like throwing down the infestation at 2-2 or starting hive at that point. Like those sorts of mental timings I do appreciate.
Okay,
Like
Terran. Okay.
So it used to be like Terran. One of the ones that I really liked is being able to support basically a factory or a starport off of a single gas. So one to one up until the point where you're just macroing, or sorry, up into the point where it's late game. And is there a rule to the number of gases that you take for Zerg, or is it just purely the kind of units that you're producing if you're pumping out Vipers or air units?
Yeah, so it depends on the unit you're going for. Especially with Lingbane Hydra, you don't need a ton of gas initially. I thought you took your gases actually at the correct moments in this game, at least as far as like the first 3 bases go.
Yep.
So usually what you want to do is you saturate fully on minerals first, and then you take the gases, and that seems to be what you're doing, right?
Yep.
Like
Mostly.
making sure you get all these minerals first, and then the gases.
Correct.
Taking the gases too early, it like creates the scenario that you're in right now, where you kind of run out of, you're just running out of minerals, and you have too much gas, and Zerg can't really. You can't really spend it as Zerg very easily. It's kind of like with Terran, like you have a lot of games with Terran where you end up with like 10k gas, and you're like, okay, what am I gonna do? Like make Marines or Marauders? Like make 3 ghosts? Like what am I gonna do, right?
Nukes.
Yeah, with Zerg you can kind of spend it on Banelings, which is what you're doing here. But that's in this kind of composition your most gas heavy unit, like relative to like all the other stuff. So it's still not too heavy in gas. So usually you can sit on 6 gases for quite some time, so you don't need to rush out to 7 and 8 gas, unless you want to go hive tech and maybe you want to go into +3/+3 ultra cavern and adrenal glands all at the same time. Like that's like 1,000 gas, so then you might need those. But it's kind of dependent on the game. So in general with Lingbane, you can definitely sit around on 4 to 6 gases for a really long time.
Cool.
It's totally fine.
Love it.
Yeah, so you definitely don't have to take like every gas on every base, Like some players have a tendency to like, okay, I've got a new base now, better take the gases right away. Like maybe you're kind of doing that over here as well, like you take the gas over there. Actually, I still have that one. I think you're also playing a little too Hydra heavy. So with Lingbane Hydras are very much so the support unit. So you can have 10, maybe 15, that's totally fine. Like, it's not a super strict number, but you've been going up to like 30 or so in one of these games. Really want to view that as more like a support kind of unit, but that's due to, once again, that we don't really have the larva production right now to, make Lingbane, and since we don't have ultras, you can't really go there either. So I feel like just changing up the hive tech timing and changing the upgrades is already going to push you kind of in that direction,
Okay.
All right.
Widows too, man.
Yeah, so I actually really like the Hydras against Widow Mines. Like, that's where they're really good.
Yeah.
Look at the Terran is floating 10k. Well, they're maxed out. They have permission to float. Yeah, this sucks, though, as a Terran player, right? When you're, like, in a game, but you actually don't know if you can win. Zerg is so freaking resilient.
Yeah.
Like, you never know where to go. Oh, he wasn't the second to go? Okay. Right as I looked at it, he was maxed out. Okay, yeah. All right. So one build that I like recommending is what we like. It's called the Clash Zerg versus Terran opener, which is kind of funny because I don't think the Zerg players that came up with it are on the team Clash anymore. It's this like document that is written by like, I don't know, Kevin Dance apparently. I don't know. I like linking this one directly because it's just like the super standard. Yeah, just yeah. People called it Q-Lash back then, but it's called Clash.
Okay.
But this is a really good standard build order that you can certainly run all the way up to Grandmaster League, totally fine.
Okay.
And this is mostly just gonna lead you towards like the 50-ish supply count, so you don't necessarily need to like, expect that this is gonna run you until the mid game or whatever. But it's just a good general start. And I mean, I could copy paste all of this. I could go over it right now, but
no.
yeah,
I can. Right? That's homework, my man. Love it.
Yeah, that's homework. Exactly. So after that, so after like the first like this build order, like you can probably learn this in an hour or two. Like just check it out, and you'll probably be fine. After that, you want to think in terms of overlord production, as in like per injecting queen, you want to make 1 overlord each. So after the build order, for each queen that's injecting a hatchery. So say you have like 3 hatcheries at that point, you make 3 overlords at once.
Gotcha. Yep. Because of all the larvae.
And that's more like a general guideline. I think it's better to be oversupply than undersupply.
Yep.
So just try and get that into your system first. So always try to begin every production cycle with overlords rather than like units.
Oh, I've been spending and doing it last. That's a good point.
Yeah. So 3 queens would be 3 overlords. And then begin. I mean, I'm writing this down under Zerk's Terran, but I mean, this is
just general.
Yeah.
Can I ask that question a different way? If if you're actually good on the macro cycle, can you just spend X number of queens is X number of overlords per macro cycle? Does it work that way, or is that not? Is that over?
No, it's not quite efficient because there's like you'd be a little bit oversupply.
Okay.
But it's more like a general guideline, you know. Like it's I don't think Cyril is probably following build orders up to 160 supply, you know. Like he's following it.
Yeah, to the T for sure.
It's like a tree, and then like it branches off into 17 different segments, and then every branch from there, like splits off again as well.
Yep.
But yeah, it's more like a general guideline. Because for example, if you play a Roach Ravager, you need more overlords than if you play Ling Bane, because they're really supply heavy, and if you play Swarm Host, you need like a million overlords.
Yep.
But yeah, I think getting into the habit of beginning the production cycle with overlords is huge. And then just if you're unsure, like in a lot of these instances, I saw you making like 1 overlord at the 140 supply mark. It just it slows down the rest of the game a lot.
Yeah,
so at that point,
gotcha.
Just make a bunch and try and get into that habit, and then next month we can see how that goes.
I love it.
I'm not gonna hit too many supply blocks anymore, hopefully. I mean, supply blocks are always gonna be happening. Like my supply block problem is the 36 out of 36.
Yeah.
For some reason, I always forget. Well, not always, but I regularly forget the 31 or 32 overlord. It's really sloppy. I've played like thousands and thousands of games. And
it's that 36, man. It's because like mentally you're turning 36 or something next month, and you're like, I just hate this. No, I'm joking. All right. Do you want me to fire up like a? Yeah, exactly. You want me to jump into the next one? ZVP. All right.
You said that was a good game, right?
Yeah.
So once again, by the way, like the general build looks like your strategy looks on point. There's just like some refinement, Like I can 100% see how you made your way to like Platinum 1. You've just been making a lot of shit and just throwing it at the opponent.
Totally.
Yeah, just a little bit of refinement I think would help out a lot in these. I mean, it's not like one big thing here that's holding you back. It's a couple of smaller things that, I think are all pretty easy to fix, assuming you can, get into that groove a little bit, and you just, pay attention to the supply blocks a little bit. And I don't know exactly how much time you obviously have to play games. That's like a big thing for a lot of people to do.
Yeah, I'm definitely bound with the family and job and all that fun stuff, but try to play as much as I can lately, just again because I wanted to do some try hard for a little bit and see how far I could go. So I've got it signed off by the wife. The boss is on board. So
like, honey, can I play my letter game?
Yeah, exactly.
Just 5 more. No, but that's good though. Like, yeah, because honestly, like, obviously, like a lot of these things we discuss, it's gotta, the theory is nice, but mechanics is everything, right? Like, you need to be able to actually execute as well. So, I mean, even if you just can, like, if you play 5 games a day every day, like, that's way more helpful than playing 20 games on Saturday and no games the rest of the week, Like,
exactly.
He's a smart man. Like, there you go. Yeah, this is smart man. Gotta sign off.
Dude, I don't know. That's giving me a lot of credit. I wouldn't go that far. Yeah. How's the gato, man? You got a cat. Last time.
The cat is doing great. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
He got his second set of vaccinations yesterday, so
nice.
He's a little slow today, but I mean,
it's awesome.
He's been very cheery though. Compared to at least like initially when we first got him, he was kind of sick. But he's doing much better now. So.
Good to hear.
Look, getting signed off by the wife is very smart. I'm not married, guys. I'm glad to hear all of this. I play games for a living, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
Like, honey, can I go work now? It's like, no, you guys.
Exactly.
Loco, a slow, sleepy kitty is perfect for sitting on your lap. So a problem I ran into, actually, so we're not really allowing him in this room. I have like my computer running over here, but not with the side panel on, just because of airflow.
Yeah.
And he's very curious about the LEDs in the case itself.
It's a chroma kitty. Chroma RGB.
But I mean, having a kitten climb into a computer while it's running on the inside of the case is probably not ideal.
Dude, you got to get that like the swanky wall mount. Just put it up on the wall. Then it's like a.
I also, up out of the way. Admittedly, like another reason is also that I gotta do my cable management. My cable management is kind of trash. I've been saying I'm gonna do that for the last 2 years, but here we are.
Embracing the zip ties, color coded.
I have them. I bought them.
Yeah, I say that. Yeah, I'm the same way. I got my workspace needs improvement.
Maybe one day when my internet breaks or whatever, I can justify the time. At this point, it's like it's functioning. I don't really want to bother with it. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just lazy.
I hear you. All right.
Do a cable management stream. Problem solved. How can
there
I
you
do
go.
Cable management on a computer that I'm. Well, I could stream from another computer, I guess. Yeah. Cable management stream. Ooh, that's not even a terrible idea.
It isn't.
Is that what streamers do now? You do like a house cleaning stream, so literally all you do is just, a laundry stream.
Yeah.
Is that...
Dude, oh my god, yeah, my wife eats that shit up. Oh my Christ.
Really?
Oh
wow.
Dude, it's whatever. But I mean, it's motivation for her to also help clean, and I need all the help in that department as I can get. So I'm all for it. I don't dare say shit about that. Like. But yeah, I feel like everybody's always curious about setup. So cable management, like it's a walkthrough. So I feel like that's good. Good potential.
I'm an IRL streamer now. Yeah, IRL stream. There you go.
Embrace the selfie stick.
Nobody wants to see a Texas stream, dude. Like, nobody wants to see anyone do that.
I don't know.
Like 4 accountants watching. Like, yes, I want to see that. Like, it's fantastic. All right. Let's talk some ZVP. So, in this one, are you also playing the Hydroling Bane?
No. I actually, dude, I don't remember any of these games now. Like, yesterday was just an abyss. I usually try to go Roach Ravager base against Protoss. I feel like the 2-base timing works pretty well because with their aggressive second. If I'm feeling, I might not have done that in this and still try to take my third because again I've been trying to focus on just getting maxed out around 9 minutes. So I have no idea. This will be a surprise. It's good. Cool. But I don't go so late game. I usually go Hydra heavy because Hydra and Viper is just so nice. But I don't remember which way I went.
Okay. No, I'm glad to hear you're using Vipers and stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you guys get cheese in any of these games at all, or
yes.
Have you been getting cheese a lot on the ladder recently?
Yeah. You'll probably see my Overlord like running point on scanning my natural and stuff just ahead because I do get some cheese, but I usually can fight through that stuff. Like, they don't. Whatever. I have pretty good success with limited number of drone pulling and throwing some. What are they called? The spines down, and then the Ravagers deal with them nicely to break through, and I'm usually okay, but not too much more than that. So the other cheese that I got was like this really strong. It was Archon Zealot push that. Again, I 2-based because exactly. And my 2-base Ravager actually held it off pretty nicely. So those are the main. I haven't gotten a lot of Protoss cheese that's been effective.
Okay, no, fair enough. Yeah, so right off the bat, like a small improvement. I don't know if you're doing this because I think he did the same thing actually in the previous game too. In general, 16 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool is what people play right now in every matchup.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the reason I'm bringing it up here is because this is an 18 hatch, and 18 hatch just insta-loses to any cannon rush. So, like, you can kind of hold cannon rushes with this as well, but it makes it so much harder. Like, everything is just a little bit late, Like, it's just, a small thing. It doesn't really make much of a difference here. It's just a little safer.
Yep.
So also on that same note, so for cannon rushes specifically, usually you want to leave your first overlord, so the first one you make, so your second overlord rather, so first overlord across the map like you're doing. I like that. We rally point over there too. The first overlord you make, so this one over here, you want to leave that one hanging in the natural until about the hatchery is halfway done.
Okay.
So OV in the natural until the hatch is about halfway done in case of cannon rush. That way you can actually spot it. So the reason for that is if they decide to go for a cannon rush after the hatchery is halfway done, the photon cannons are going to be in an awkward spot where they can't actually properly hit the nexus. Like on some maps, there's some exceptions, but general rule of thumb, it's a good idea. So you leave that OV like until the hatchery is about halfway done in your natural, and then you can send it across or do whatever you like with it.
Okay.
So usually, actually, like if you want to be real strict, I mean, if we're going to discuss that first OV what you make, leave it in the natural until it's halfway done, and then after that, you can use it for scouting their main. Okay. So usually you would leave it until right about right now. And then if you were to like rally it across the map at this point, so you would send it straight through their main base right now. So you would send this guy that would be over there straight, over there. You would scout basically every single push that they can go for at a reasonable time.
All right.
That seems to work right now in all maps, but other than Golden Wall. Fuck Golden Wall.
Oh my god, that map, dude.
All right.
Sorry.
No, that's totally fine.
Okay.
You're just proving, right?
Buddy man.
Had permission to play
Yeah,
the game.
exactly.
Yeah, come on, leave Daddy alone.
It's all about the support structure.
There you go. All right. So I like the extra queens. That's good. Oh, so you go quick lair as well. Alrighty, I see. So, wait, are you skipping link speed, or is this just this specific game?
If I skip link speed, it's because I'm usually 2-base Roach Ravager, and I've been getting away with that sometimes, and I probably get bit by that here, but we'll see. And that's probably super taboo because I'm not going to be able to deal with whatever, the adepts and stuff coming in early and all that. But.
Yeah. That's my concern here, because if you get a bunch of adepts over here, and that's like a really popular build that Protoss like to go for right now, you get absolutely wrecked by adepts. So I would definitely, like, even if you play 2-base openers, which I don't mind, by the way, like I think 2-base opener is totally fine. You definitely want to still start link speed, because, I mean, look, by the time that your queen spawns, so the first, like here's where you start up the 2 queens. And here's where you get 100 gas. Like you could just start it up right here. Yeah. Because by the time that you start up the actual lair, you're gonna be up to 200 gas.
True.
Like
it's true.
So definitely get link speed, because it's super important for like a lot of early game defenses.
All right. Like mentally, I was trying to justify, but it's only 1 Ravager, so yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, no, it just saves you so many times, like even if you play Ravagers, like oftentimes you'll still have a lot of minerals left over, especially when you play Ravagers.
Yep,
that's a little awkward.
That's a great point.
Yeah, it's a good build overall though. Like good focus here on the droning. I like the scouting once again. I like the scouting of their 3rd base. Curious unit of choice, but
what did I? Oh, is it a drone? Yeah.
Is that the scouting drone actually?
It is, and he's probably going to come back. I usually like to send him out and then have him make my 3rd, but I don't know. I mix it up. I don't have a plan, Loco.
No, I mean you have a plan here though with like the +1 missile and the roach speed.
Oh yeah. This is the fallback, the pocket build.
No, I think this is a very legit build. You can you see this one at pro level every once in a while as well, like especially in ZVT. You see it in ZVZ, like I would say 1 out of 3 games probably. It's it's legit. A good 3rd base timing here as well. This is the build that I've been advising people to play for a long time, man, and people are like, no, look, I want to.
Yeah, I probably got it from you.
No, it's good. It's a good build. Yeah, so clean execution. Usually you push around 6 minutes with like 110-ish supply, and you seem to hit that here perfectly. So, yeah, good stuff.
All right.
Okay, now in this case, like you probably win a lot of games up to this point, or right at this point. I can imagine. Am I wrong?
Yeah, like not as many as I feel like I should be if I'm doing the build well. And I think we'll see. I think I'm remembering this engagement where I feel like I was overpowering him, right? What is my army versus his? Yeah, almost double right now at this point. So when I watched this replay, I was just like, damn, I feel like this is where I'm questioning how I'm engaging sometimes, or maybe my biles are off a little bit that could have been a lot better. But
no, it's probably not.
Okay.
So most of the time, Protoss players, you'll see this as you climb up the ladder. Most of the time, the latest they take a third base is about 5 minutes. So this guy has actually decided to sit on 2 bases for longer and add on double forges and basically make more units. So
Gotcha.
rather than like favoring a third base, this guy is actually kind of sitting on 2 bases and kind of doing the same thing. That's kind of Protoss' strength right now. Like they're really strong defensively.
Dude, that
so
shield
breaking
battery.
their natural is really hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
the shield battery. is super strong.
Oh man.
So I don't think you like mis-executed here, as far as I could tell, at least by watching on like faster speed. Like the push looks crisp. I like the third base timing. It's just that they're really difficult to break on 2 bases. And like say this probe would have moved out at what would be like the conventional time. He would be making the third base right now.
Yeah. 400 less units or 400.
Yeah, but
resources.
then obviously your push would go to his third base, right?
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Yep.
So that would make that push significantly better. So in this case, I'm hoping you don't overextend too much with the push. You really want to like execute it, especially when they go for a third. You can kind of test the waters, but you don't want to like throw away all the stuff because of like one shield battery.
I'm bad at that. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Okay.
Efficiency, man, is not my forte. But I do feel like Zerg is. Am I wrong in saying that Zerg just doesn't trade well against things
no,
like?
never.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm.
Well, swarm hosts and banelings can trade well.
Yeah.
Ravagers can kind of trade well, but in general, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
If you want to play a really efficient comp, like swarm hosts is the way to go. But that becomes like with a whole lot of other problems.
That's my dude. And twos like Swarm Host and just with Nidus play is so fun. Like it's so good.
Yeah, you could, dude. That's what I've been winning my ZVPs with again over the last 2 days. So I've been
Alright.
struggling a lot in ZVP. So essentially, what you do in that case is in Zerg versus Protoss, right? You basically play what you're doing right here, and then once you hit 3 base saturation, you throw up an an infestation pit, a Nidus worm, and like 10 overlords.
Yeah.
And then you just make like 16 swarm hosts. You can if you like doing that in 2v2,
I
it's
do.
legit strategy to play in ZVP.
All right,
Like,
I'm gonna give that a shot.
It's also really good against mech. So you pointed out you don't like playing against mech. Like Roach
Yeah.
Rav, the swarm host, is legit against mech too. So
Yep.
I mean,
My
just something to keep in mind, I guess, if you see it again on the line.
yeah, for sure. Like I need to get my multi-group micro whatever, like just swapping, just keep my swarm hosts in a good spot and not just send them to death so they can actually trade. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But
for
like
sure.
you're using multiple hotkey groups, which is great. Like most people, like once again, I've done quite a bit of coaching at this point. Most people in Platinum League use the O Army hotkey, and it just completely does not allow you to play Vipers, Swarm hosts.
Yeah.
Like you can basically play half of the Zerg units. Or you can't play half of the Zerg units because you're just stuck with the O Army hotkey. So no, I'm happy to hear that because it's really good. Anyway, yeah. So far the game looks good here. Just don't throw away too much stuff in these kind of circumstances because Protoss is just really strong defensively.
Yeah. This choke. Oh.
So good spending here while this is going on too, though. Like you can see, like he's not macroing, but you are macroing. So this looks way better actually in the early game here than the ZVT. This looks a lot crisper, you know.
Yep.
You just don't really want to necessarily fight this Protoss army head on.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I'm curious to see the follow up at this point. So same thing in this one. Upgrades for attacks are way more important than carapace.
Okay.
So you pretty much always as Zerg, like so the idea is like the way damage gets calculated in StarCraft 2 is hard attacking units. So essentially the way it works is damage output of the unit minus the armor of the unit that it's attacking is the actual damage output.
Right.
So essentially what that means is that a unit like an Immortal, when it attacks a Roach, it's gonna deal, hypothetically speaking, like 50 minus 1 armor upgrade, 49 damage. You know what I mean? If you compare that to, say, for example, a Marine, the armor upgrade triggers way more often. Does that make any sense? Like, logic behind that?
Yeah.
So versus hard attacking units, which is basically what all Protoss units are, armor upgrades kind of suck.
Okay.
So with especially against Protoss, like attack upgrades are far superior. It's way better.
All right.
I mean, this is looking real good though.
Yeah.
Next battery overcharge. Haha, you touched it.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like I should have I don't know. I felt like I should have been able to win right there. I guess looking, like I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think with a little bit more macro here, because you hit a. Oh, thank you very much, Blay. You hit a bit of a supply block here. So you're making a bunch of overlords, and then the Baals are a little bit, you know, they miss everything. So in this kind of place, or in this kind of situation, you probably want to like focus Biles on their retreat path. So in this case, probably like, you know, the overlord, or like, sorry, the immortal in the back. So they're forced to back off, and you're probably going to hit at least one of the units.
Yep.
Because like, that's like a bit of a desperation ball where you're like, okay, if he stands still, if only he stands still, he's so dead. Like that's not really.
For sure.
Those are not balls that are gonna climb up the ladder, you know?
Yep.
Oh my god, battery overcharge is good though.
God, it's so annoying.
So you're using rapid fire here, right? I'm assuming.
I am not.
Oh, you're not?
I wanted to ask you about that, but
okay. Yeah, let's set that up, dude. That's gonna be a big difference. We're gonna do that after this.
Okay. Because I feel like I see people doing that with creep spread as well, and. Oh my god, I'm jealous of that because I do feel, I mean, I'm super twitchy, so I don't feel like my biles are lacking because of it. But if I can do it across the board, like that would actually probably be a big help.
Yeah, it is actually a big difference. So if you like, I'm assuming you're playing Roach Ravager and ZVZ too.
Sometimes, like probably 50%.
Okay.
I've been trying to focus on, again, the max army like usually tends to go into Hydra Viper, so I've been trying to use Vipers more just to get a little bit better with them. But I'd say like 50% of the time I do this as well in ZVZ.
Yeah. So if that's the case, like honestly, like you benefit a lot from there's no downside. Is what I'm trying to say. Like the rapid fire is super helpful. If you want to do multiple,
it's just another tool.
If you want to do one for like creep spread as well, you actually have to go into like the hotkeys, like the text document.
It's gotcha.
I can link you like a rapid fire. There's like a little text document you can put in like your documents folder thing, and that works.
Cool, little ini file.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just include like the Team Liquid page as well. So if you want to do it, like we'll set up one hotkey here because you can do it straight in game.
Cool.
But if you want to do multiple hotkeys, you gotta like follow along with that. Like more homework, man.
Yeah, that's good. Giving me things to do. I like it.
Okay, so if we go back a little bit in the game, I think you're right. At this point, if we wouldn't have hit that supply block, so you made a gajillion overlords here, you probably would have won the game here. Like if you imagine like this this supply block over here would not have happened, you would probably win the game straight up with this next push. So you make 4 OVs right now, and then actually like 5 more after this. Yeah. Okay, you make a couple of rotates first, but you know. But I mean, I know why it's happening, right? It's because you're in the middle of the fight, and it's
yep, totally.
Tough game. It's not easy.
I got excited.
Yeah, you're like, get fucked in. Let's go. So I actually like the infestation pit timing in this game quite a bit more, assuming you once again start up the upgrades for +2. So same thing as in ZVT. You basically want to link your hive timing with the upgrades. So right now you have the infestation pit done. You could go straight up to hive right now, and then basically by the time that +3 or +2 finishes, you can go straight into. By the time +2 finishes, you can go straight into +3.
Okay.
This is, by the way, also like a scenario where once again you can play Swarm Host. I think Swarm Hosts are really good if you're kind of stuck on 60 drones or so. Like if you have like 3 base saturation. So in this case, like I think Swarm Hosts are actually a really good transition. Like if you like playing them, at least give it a try, because it's.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people in Platinum League have a lot of experience playing against Swarm Host right now, you know? Like, this Protoss player probably has not seen it a whole lot.
Right.
It sucks. I don't know if you have played any Protoss against Swarm Host by any chance?
Protoss is my weakest race, so I don't ladder much with them. But I was going to try to get as much unlocked with Zerg before I switch over and try my hand at Protoss, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So no.
Yeah. So as soon as you do, like, you'll realize the one time that you play against Mutas or the one time you play against, you know, Swarm Host, it really sucks because it requires like an extra skill set to like defend.
Yeah.
So I like the Mutas here as well. I like the +3/+2. Yeah, this is looking. It's looking nice. Do you? So you brought up Hydra Viper a couple times. Do you try lurkers at all? Do you play lurkers?
I do. I feel like I do them in the wrong cases. Like Terran Mech, when they're trying to push on me, I'll or if I'm getting harassed a lot, I'll try to stick a couple at my outside bases essentially. But I actually, the first build that I tried to do was an early Hydra Lurker 2-base kind of build, and I've been building less just because I don't know. I feel like when you were playing with Hearthstone, he was ripping you for having lurkers.
I just see that one. Huh? Yeah. So lurkers are really good right now, especially against Protoss. So Hydra Lurker Viper. So you play Hydra Viper. Hydra Lurker Viper is the standard right now in a lot of circumstances against Protoss.
Okay.
It's super good. So yeah, if you like playing Swarmos and you have enjoyed playing lurkers in the past, like I highly recommend you try it out in ZVP.
All right.
It's super good. Like you can play Hydra Lurker Viper as well in Zerg versus Zerg. So Hydra Lurker Viper is the ultimate composition for Zerg versus Zerg. So
Love it.
yeah, if you want to mix in another unit, that's usually what we see. So it's very common to basically do exactly what you're doing here, where you go Roach Ravager in the early game, and then later on you switch towards Hydras, and then after that you go Vipers into Lurkers. So you start with Roach Ravager, you start up those upgrades, basically the exact way you're doing here, and then you transition later on into Hydras, and then eventually into Hydra Lurker Viper.
All right.
And then at that point you kind of disregard Roaches entirely. So the way you're playing here is very similar to what a lot of people are playing.
Okay.
And yeah, I like it. Let's do it. Yeah, let's get the whole thing. There you
I lose way too much there. Should have pulled the Muta back too. But yeah.
Honestly, like you're out macroing him heavily. I mean, yeah, maybe you wanted to back off here, but you got good upgrades here. So one real strength of the Lurker in this kind of circumstance here would be to, yeah. So you go Lurker then here. I like it. It should have probably already been done, but if you want to go Lurkers, like he can't really push into Lurkers. Like the problem that Protoss faces is that if they see Lurker spines, they either have to commit or they back off right away. Like there's no middle of the road approach, you know? Like they either just waltz over the Lurkers and try to just kill them before they kill them, or they back off. So even if you have like 3 Lurkers, a lot of the times Protoss will be like, oh crap, I'm not even gonna try. I'm just gonna leave. Which doesn't sound like a big deal, but it really is super powerful when you're playing defensively, especially. So this is a really good scenario that you're in right here. I like it a lot. Yeah, Lurkers are great at zoning. They're like siege tanks, basically.
Yep, exactly. I treat them the same way. Yeah.
Guys, just listen to this guy's voice. It doesn't get much better. Oh my god. Well,
What?
there you go. Yeah, so do you face a lot of Psionic Storm right now?
Yes, and I get wrecked by it.
Okay.
Absolutely
say,
wrecked.
That's kind of like the bane of the Hydra, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Sidestorm is so good. This guy is completely skipping it. Like he's going into Colossus right now instead, but
Yeah.
yeah, honestly, like so if you want to try out Hydra Lurker Viper, you basically go for the Lurker Den by the time that you go Hive.
Okay.
So let me write it down under ZVP. So for Lurker timing, when you're going Hive, go Lurker Den. And you essentially want to play defensively with Lurkers. Play defensively with Lurkers until both upgrades are done. So you know like the 2 Hive upgrades that they have?
Yep.
Yeah, so essentially like
Do you
until
go
those
range?
are done, you just want to sit on creep with them. And then after you're done, like you can start
Push
fighting
on.
with them. Like you would have won this game pretty easily, I think, if you would have had those in the mix here, because they're super strong.
Okay. Do you do range first or the bro speed first?
Yeah, range first for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, they get like 9 range. It's really good.
Yeah. Do they outrange siege tanks with the plus?
I think siege tanks are like 13 or something.
Oh yeah, because it
They're
extends
like really
beyond the
but
site.
they have the same range as Colossi actually. So it's
Okay.
actually like Colossi shoot really far. Yeah, so these traits are still good. So one big counter to Colossi is the Viper. So I love the fact you're adding in Vipers here. So essentially what you would want to do is you want to abduct the Vipers into, or sorry, the Colossi. You don't want to abduct your own Vipers. You want to abduct the Colossi into your lurkers, and that gets rid of them right away. Like this guy has absolutely no counter at all to Hydras right now, other than those Colossi, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, once again, good approach in general, man. I like it a lot.
All right. Oh, melting.
Yep. I like the Corruptor switch. That's good. Yeah, so at this point, are we... Oh, you're actually just not spending here. Oh, actually, we were close to maxing out, okay. It's targeting as well with the Corruptors? Yeah, it's a legit game, dude. Nice.
Oh yeah, against carriers,
Yeah.
everything just dies if you don't.
Yeah, so if you're ever in this scenario as well where you find yourself like really heavy on minerals, so in this case like we're kind of running out of gas, Zerglings here are actually not a bad idea. If you're facing Skytles, you can also just replace drones and make Spore Crawlers. Spore Crawlers are, you know, very good against the...
So that can we watch that engagement again? Because I felt like this was horrible. If I look at these two army compositions, or if we pulled up the unit tester with the Hydra and the Corruptors here, I probably shouldn't have engaged with the Hydra, seeing the two Colossi.
Yes.
But man, like I just march it to their death.
Yeah, so Colossi deal bonus damage against Hydra. So they absolutely smash Hydras and Zerglings. They suck against roaches. They suck against everything else. I think if you would have just engaged, like you have 16 Corruptors. Oh, there's more coming. Yeah, if you would have just engaged here with the Viper and the Corruptor, you could easily pick all of this up. But the problem here in the engagement as well is that you kind of stay too committed here with the Hydras. So once the Hydras are fighting, you can't really back off very easily. Otherwise, you probably would have disengaged with the Corruptors. And we actually have a lot of Corruptors, like, derping around over there, too. There's like 10 Corruptors, not in the battle.
Failed to add to the army.
Yep. Shoot all army halt? No, wait, hold on. Yeah, this is... Oh, wow.
Did you see all the slow links?
That's the problem, yeah.
Could
have solved this at the 2-minute mark.
All right,
I love the Zerglings edition here.
Might not have been worth it.
melee as well, but no link speed.
They counteract.
Yeah, that's
right?
awkward. That doesn't happen all too often.
That's amazing.
Oh god, we're gonna have 100 slow links soon. You know the shitty part about this, because I've been here too. Like link speed is a surprisingly low upgrade. Takes forever.
Yeah, it does.
You don't realize it until you don't make it in the early game, and then all of a sudden it takes forever.
That was definitely an oh shit moment.
Yeah, so even in this kind of scenario, like adrenal glands, just the attack speed upgrade. Oh, you have it queued up. Okay, I like it. Yeah, so I think it's pretty obvious that like you had multiple. Actually, you may win this game, don't you? I don't know.
No, I don't.
Okay, yeah. So there are like lots of scenarios where you could have won this game, right? I think that's pretty clear. One big thing as well against Skytles is you should definitely look into Spore Crawlers. So you can build up to like 30 Spore Crawlers here and Probos can't engage. Oh, so we just run out of gas? That's the reason we lose here?
Yeah, I think so.
And then the Zealot run by in the bottom right, okay. Yeah, so that's just a matter of getting those gases up faster. Like, but this is a hectic game, right? Like these are... It's easy to judge as like someone watching a replay, but I know the feeling when you're in game.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, so this was like a game where you could have definitely won a couple at a couple certain moments, like even
For
with
sure.
the Roach Ravager push in the early game,
For
right?
sure.
And then the Corruptor push later on, like.
Yeah.
But at least you know, all of the like strategically speaking, the game makes perfect sense. It's yeah, that's good. Actually, okay, yeah. Before we get, can we do the rapid fire thing real quick?
Oh,
could you toss me the party lead real quick?
Party lead. Dun, dun, dun. You've been promoted. Congratulations.
Thank you. How does Central United States give me a lower ping than East? That makes no sense.
Probably because everything routes through Chicago. That's why Riot had
Central?
to
I don't know
buy
what
their
Chicago
own.
is.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, unit test. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, so rapid fire, it's very helpful. Usually Central server is in Texas, Loco.
Okay.
Isn't Texas like way in the south?
Yeah, but it's kind of midline.
But I guess it's huge, so it takes up like most of the middle as well. Like
Yeah. It's pretty big.
Okay, yeah, so if you go into the options, like the settings,
Yep.
and then you go to hotkeys, and then under global, and then under unit management.
And there. Choosability or AI target? Is that what you're
Yes,
looking at?
it's choosability or AI target.
Yep.
For corrosive bile, so right now it should say left mouse button only, right?
Correct.
For corrosive bile, for standard hotkeys, the hotkey is C, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So you just want to add like an extra hotkey for C. And basically, and then you just hit accept and save. So what you can do in the ini file is add like, it's like comma, it will say like left mouse button, comma C, and then you can add comma, whatever other hotkeys you want to include as well. Say for example for creep spread, you know? Pretty straightforward edit. So have you ever tried it before, like at all, or are you familiar with how it works?
I've watched people use it.
Okay.
But
Alright.
yeah, like it's
Game
just
changer.
it's just mouse movement basically after your. Do you only hit C once, or are you holding
Yeah.
down C and moving? Okay.
No, so you just no, you hold down. Okay, yeah. So the red ones are mine, the blue ones are yours.
Yep.
So you hold down Z or C rather, and then you just wave your mouse. There it is.
That's ridiculous.
Plus it makes your APM look real good. That's just a side, you know, just a side bonus. But it's a game changer in a lot of scenarios, man. Like it makes such a big difference.
Yeah, I need to play with this for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really helpful, especially I find in like Roach Ravager battles in ZVZ. But also like in that previous game. Like in that previous game, you didn't have that many Ravagers.
Yeah.
But even with like say, okay, there's like situations as well where you have very small armies, but you kind of want to corrosive ball really quickly. Say for example, like Terran is sending in a Liberator, and you know it's 3 corrosive balls to kill a Liberator, right?
Yep. And tanks. Yep.
Just having it like as like basically a single attack, so it's like it's like the 3 right all at once. It oftentimes makes the difference between killing the Liberator and not killing the Liberator. Does that make any sense? Like it makes sense in my head because I can see the Liberator, but.
Yep. The other thing, yeah. In lieu of that, I was messing around with like queuing it up, like shift clicking to a location and then doing it so they all fire it at the same time as kind of a workaround. But I think this is superior to that for sure.
Yeah, like you can still do that right now as well, I guess. Like you could like shift command and then, you know, you can still get it real quick. But especially like if it's a ZVZ Overlord, you just, you know, that's like 5 rows of balls right there.
Yep.
They can't fly away. And for the same for the Liberator, like I've had a lot of games before I switched over to this where it's like click to click, and then the Liberator does not get hit by the final bile, you know?
Yep.
Whereas with this, like it's either a hit or it's no hit at all. But more often than not, it's a hit.
Totally. Is there, so I have like, there's a probably 750 millisecond delay, like almost a second delay before they start firing. Is that normal?
Wait, you have a delay before they fire?
Yeah, so holding down C. Oh, I bet it's the,
Oh, is it your keyboard repeat rate, maybe?
yeah, maybe. I need to figure that out because there's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, if you go into, like that's a Windows setting.
Yeah. Yeah, I can check that out.
Yeah, like I can help you out with that. Like if you go to control panel and then you search keyboard, it should be there. And then essentially what you want to do is set your character repeat delay and repeat rate to, well, short and fast. There you go.
Short, delay, repeat rate fast. Boom.
Yeah, no, I don't want to click anything. I have manually adjusted this setting in the register to be faster than the max that Windows allows. So I'm assuming yours were on the default?
Yeah. That's
Yeah, so
much better. Much better.
Okay, yeah. You notice the difference right away?
Oh, yeah. It is. Much
Yeah,
better.
so if you want to go full try hard, you can go into the register and like manually repeat that rate again. So you know, like Serral and Raynor and stuff, they get like 800 APM.
Yeah.
It's primarily due to the fact that their repeat delay is ridiculously low.
Huh.
So they essentially have like they go into the register and they adjust that setting manually. It's only allowed in tournaments and stuff. So it's like, you know, something that all the pros play with nowadays. Like you see, like sometimes you see pro gamers warp in stalkers or whatever, and they warp in like 20 stalkers in like the blink of an eye. It's all repeat delay and rapid fire.
Interesting. Cool. All right, this is awesome. I'm sold.
Loco is very short and fast. What does that even mean, Hardnip? I'm short and
Watching
fast.
too many Taco Bell commercials. I don't even know what that means.
I rapid fire all text structures, hatches, and spores. Yeah, you basically want to rapid fire all the things. I think once you get addicted to rapid fire, you can't stop. Okay, Hardnapper is beyond saving at this point, and like Raynor and Serral are the same. Apparently, there's rapid fire everything. But
Yeah, so with the INI, the ini file, you can set it up for multiple keys. Is that correct? So you can have multiple. Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
yeah, so I think I don't know.
Yeah.
exactly what the-
Yeah. I can check that out, dude. That's good for
think
homework.
it's, is it the variables one? I don't remember. No, it's not. It's like it's StarCraft, like it's your documents folder, then StarCraft 2, and then there's like a file over there somewhere.
Nice.
But like it says it in the Team Liquid post thingy that I included in this.
Excellent.
Little document over here too.
Awesome.
You want to have a quick look as well at some ZVZ?
Sure. Yeah, man. If you got time.
do it.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I gotta eat dinner in like 10 minutes and then watch Serral versus Raynor, man. Like they're
Yeah. Throwing down.
playing in about 40, so I gotta make sure I watch that. But we can definitely cruise through a ZVZ.
ZVZ.
ZVZ is not generally as complex. It's a lot more about trying to not die to Banelings, which is tricky. I believe it's scheduled for 8:30, Heartnipper.
Dude, it's 8:30 there? Man.
Yeah, it's 7:50 right now.
Well, yeah. It's almost 11 on the
Yeah, time
coast.
zones are confusing. I talked to quite a few people on the West Coast, and it's always a disaster when it comes to time
Dude,
zones. Like,
yeah.
either
We've been-
they're up very late, you know, when I message them in the morning over here, or I gotta talk to them late in the evening. It's
Yep.
silly.
Yep. K diggity diz.
Yeah.
I think he wrecks me.
Hey, diggity. Okay.
K diggity diz.
In clan AZPK.
Oh man. I need a better nickname.
Alrighty.
Leave in 9 minutes.
Say that again?
I have to leave in 9 minutes. We have to swap cars.
Okay.
And I gotta take the truck.
Okay.
That's where the person is.
Figure that out.
Loco, what's for dinner? I don't know, dude. Whatever she's making. It's garlic. I can smell garlic. It's a good smell. Oh, okay.
what
So
happened?
you're going really quick third hatch as well in ZVZ?
I guess.
Yeah, usually that's a little risky, especially against Ling openers and stuff. I don't know. Like, do you find yourself getting cheesed a lot in ZVZ other than the 12 pool? So you brought up 12 pool and
Yeah,
and
I do definitely get massling stuff that I've been trying to get a wall off if I can to kind of prevent ish, but I do see that. I'd say maybe like 40% of the time, 40% of the time when I
Oh,
lose.
you see 12 pool that often?
No, not 12 pool. The massling, the early like 2 base, just tons of lings that I will die
Okay,
to that usually because I
So,
took.
so
a
not
third.
like the one base all-ins.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, don't see a lot of.
Like if you see like 40% of your games are one base all-ins.
No.
You just have to play safer. But
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so in general in ZVZ, let me write it down. So for ZVZ, usually it goes 16 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool. Then you go 19 Ovi, so 19 Overlord, and then double queen plus link speed plus 4 links, and then you go third base around like 30 supply. This is like the most like that's like the bread and butter of Zerg. That's what we see in most matchups right now for most players. I don't mind playing quick third hatch in ZVP and ZVT. I actually think it's quite good, but I like playing it myself a lot as well. But in ZVZ, you really can't really do it because you just die to so many link floods, especially off of 2 bases. The main limiting resource in ZVZ is larva. So like minerals and stuff are cool, but you really need to have a bunch of larva, and without the queens, it just slows everything down so much.
Gotcha.
So do you like playing the Ling Bane?
I do. I've been trying to do it more because again, Roach Ravager was a lot of my go-to for all 3 matchups for a while, and I wasn't really good with Ling Bane because I just didn't use them, and so I've been trying to force myself to use them more. But
okay, I like that.
Yeah. So
no, that's a good mindset.
I don't.
Like a lot of people don't like playing Ling Bane at all, so they just try to skip it every game. But it's yeah, it's doable, but it's tricky. Like you have to play 2 base Roach Ravager every game. You just die to a lot of stupid stuff. So yeah,
gotcha.
No, good to hear you're trying to get it.
Yep.
So I liked your Overlord positioning and scouting in ZVT and ZVP. I think in ZVZ, there's quite a bit of room for improvement here, primarily because you're you're hiding your Overlords like the queen is gonna go across the map, right? Like it's not really like in ZVZ you don't really have to worry about hiding your Overlords until mutas could be out, right? And mutas aren't gonna be out for another little while. So especially if you see a lot of Ling Bane floods or a lot of link floods, it's super important to be able to see those coming as soon as possible.
Gotcha.
So in general, the way you want to do it in ZVZ, like it's difficult because I can point it out specifically on this map, but the general idea for Overlord positioning is that you want to have vision of the different attack paths.
Yeah, gotcha.
So
makes sense.
If you like look at the mini map in this map, say you have an Overlord positioned over there, and you have an Overlord. Can you see the pings by the way? I
don't see the pings, but I'm watching your stream so I can get it a little delayed. Yep.
Yeah. So if you have an Overlord right over there, and you have an Overlord right up there, those would spot like all attack paths. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like you would see Zerglings running if they were to go across the map at the earliest possible moment.
For sure.
I mean, assuming you're looking at the minimap. On some maps you can do it with 1 Overlord. On other maps you might need 3 Overlords.
Okay.
It's it's depending on the map, but that's like the general idea. So that's actually super important in ZVZ. So Overlord positioning saves a lot of early game stuff. So Overlord positioning, first Overlords should be dedicated to scouting the
paths.
I call them just attack paths because it's the easiest way to like describe it, I guess. It's just the, you know, if he were to send units across the map, where would the units run by, right? Because if you look at your vision here with these 2 Overlords at this point in the game, like he has about 17 different ways in which he can get Zerglings out. I mean,
and I'm watching 1.
It's actually not even like it's actually pretty close, but it's just it's a little inefficient.
Yep.
And I can imagine like on a lot of other maps you might run into a lot of trouble here where you just have a bunch of Zerglings in your main base right now and you didn't see them coming.
Yep.
Okay, so we go the extra queens over here too. Okay. So as far as the Baling Nest timing goes, usually you want to make that one after the 3rd base.
Okay.
So if you go 3rd base at around 30 supply, you usually want to go Baling Nest after 3rd. So that, once again, it's just there to make sure that you don't die to stupid shit. Like if you see a lot of stupid shit in a lot of the games, it just makes sure that you don't die to a lot of stupid builds.
Sounds good.
So we go, I like that lair timing. Lair timing is fine. So I kind of like the transitions in ZVZ a little bit more strictly than in the other matchups. So usually, I'm assuming this is going to be a Roach Ravager play, or are you going into Mutas here, actually? Oh, you might be going into Mutas.
I don't remember. I
So
don't
you
often go
mentioned
Muta.
earlier you're like playing Roach Ravager about half the games. I'm assuming
Yeah.
the other half is Mutas?
No, in ZVZ, if he's not going Roach, I'll go. I'll kind of do the Lingbane Hydra into
okay.
what I can't remember. I might do Lurkers more often in ZVZ, as long as they're drowned, right? But yeah, I don't play Muta super. I don't go Spire Tech usually for mid game stuff in general.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
that's
so
another thing that I should probably be doing.
I would say, like, yeah, definitely give it a try. Because, like, the two broad approaches right now for ZVZ, for like, unit compositions, is either Roach Ravager. So, Roach Ravager into Hydra Lurker Viper, or Muta Ling into Hydra Lurker Viper. That's essentially what most of the games come down to. Now, obviously, a lot of games end before, you know, Hydra Lurker Viper. But I think going straight into Hydras is a little tricky. If you want to go into Hydra straight up, you probably want to be able to stop a Roach push. The thing is, if you were to do like a really good Roach attack right now with 1-1 or whatever, he would just roll over this army. Like, you wouldn't be able to stop it. It's very tricky. Like, I mean, maybe you're winning in these kind of games because their their macro is a little sloppy here. You're doing a really good job here spending your money, but yeah, just in general.
Okay.
I do recommend like not going straight into Hydra, but either going Roach Ravager first and then go into Hydras, or Mutas first and then go into Hydras after that.
All right.
I mean, if they let you, obviously it's fine, right? Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like, if it works in this game, that's totally fine. Yeah, so in ZVZ, like if you play Hydra Lurker, or Hydra Lurker Viper, or Hive Tech, like you're playing like here basically, you definitely want to have all the gases as fast as possible. So
Gotcha.
we talked about like the gases in Ling Bane fights. It's a little different than we play something like this.
Yeah, I think this was just
way better than I thought.
Yeah, so yeah, that was. I think I had some hubris going there, some Hydra hubris. Like I totally thought I was going to take that, which is why I didn't disengage.
Yeah. Yeah, so now we go into Lurkers. Yeah, this guy is playing really passively. I don't know if is that most of the games, like where
No.
it does go into the mid game?
Nope, I feel like I'm usually on the defensive, almost always, which is why I'm not very good about harassing.
Yeah, so just keep in mind, like, ultimate unit composition in this matchup is Hydra Lurker Viper. Like, it kills everything. It kills Ultralisks, it kills Brute Lords, like you just abduct the Brute Lord
Hydra
into
Lurker
the
Viper.
Hydras.
Yeah.
Yeah, and usually in ZVZ you also see more of like a strict cutoff. So basically, once you have the age of the Ling Bane, and then the age of the Roach Ravager, and then the age of the Hydra Lurker Viper. Usually, once like one age ends, we don't really see those units anymore, and you probably want to stop making them.
Okay.
Because in this case, for example, like you add on a bunch of banelings here, but I would much rather see here additional Hydras and additional Lurkers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
for sure.
The banelings just don't really add that much anymore at this point, and that's quite a lot of resources.
Oh, that engagement was just terrible.
Oh yeah, that engagement wasn't over. There's a lot of walking.
Yeah. Yeah. Out for the morning, John. Oh man.
Getting a jog on for a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice spot there. You see the blur?
Yeah.
Like I never see that one.
Yeah, I think the blur's a lot easier to see than like the cloaked units by far.
Yeah. I don't see those either though. So
Yeah.
yeah, so Hydra Lurker Viper, man, like you had all the resources here to go for it. I think the unit composition here is just a little off.
Cool.
You can easily go up to 10 Lurkers in these kind of circumstances, and essentially like lurkers kill everything on the ground, especially roaches. But they like kill everything that's walking, you know.
Yep.
So
All right.
yeah,
I will
that's really like the big thing here.
love it. Love it.
But I think that's mostly just a little bit of knowledge. And other than that, like, yeah, the build order could be a little crisper, and the overlord position could be a little bit better. But I mean, I
All
think
right.
that's some
Good
stuff done.
Yeah. You've definitely given me some homework. I like it. I like it. Next time, I'm looking forward to reviewing the progress we make next month. So this will be good.
Awesome, man. Yeah. Yeah, so MMR currently is 2,003 or 2,838. I mean, we can aim for at least 3K, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. I usually sit around 331, so I shouldn't have a problem getting back there. So
Okay, well, let's set 3.2K then. If you,
yeah,
if you
perfect.
want to be
That's
ambitious,
a
I
good
like it.
that's a good goal.
What's Diamond League promotion? Do you know?
I think it's around 3.2 or 3.3. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, let's get solidly back into Platinum 1 for now as well, because right now, like, you know, we don't want to be demoted at the end of the season. I have no idea when it ends, but
For sure.
cool, man. Yeah, so let me know if you run into anything or whatever in the meantime, or if you have like a replay you want me to look at. Just drag and drop it on Discord, and I'll have a look. And
I appreciate you.
no worries, man. Happy to help. Here, I'll go ahead and write or send you these notes over here as well.
Awesome.
Man, that's a lot of notes.
Dude, that's great. I will take it all.
I wasn't joking about the essay.
That's beautiful.
Alrighty, man. Yo, let me know how it goes, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Will do. Appreciate it, man. See you later, Loco.
Thank you very much. All right.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye.
All right, and we got to wrap up the stream. Dude, Loco is awesome. Heck yeah. All right, I got to bounce, and I will be back to work on Loco homework later. Thanks for watching.